In today's episode, Patricia asks, I know the cannabis and CBD space is growing exponentially. What kinds or types of content should I be producing? I know very little, actually nothing, about the cannabis space, but we can use proven methods for data analysis in content marketing to identify, extract, and then plan what anyone should be doing in any kind of industry. So the method we're going to use two different methods, three technically, but I don't have time for the third right now, is intent-based permutation, validation, and then predictive analytics. Briefly, what you need to do is if you're trying to understand any space, as long as you have domain experience and you know the basics of the space. Like I do know that cannabis, CBD oil, and marijuana are probably the more common industry terms in the legalized marijuana space that someone would be searching for. So the first thing we need to talk about are intent-based keywords. Intent-based keywords are keywords that people would type that indicate that they have an interest in learning about something, about doing something, about possibly buying something. And we also know that based on what Patricia is asking for are content recommendations. What stuff should she be making? So think about what we have here. We have really 3 or 4 groups of keywords. We have the beginning intent ones like best or top or compare, which indicates somebody has strong interest. We have the topic itself, CBD and cannabis and stuff, and then we have the content types. There are also other intent keywords like near me or reviews or things like that we would want to include as well. So using a method called permutation, not combination, but permutation, where you preserve the order but basically mix and match every possible combination, every possible permutation of these keywords, you would create, let's flip over here, you would create a keyword list that looks something like this, where you would have the blog and the content and stuff, and you can see this goes on for thousands of rows, as is every possible logical permutation of those 3 keyword buckets. You have your intent-based words, you have your content words, your topic words, and you have your content forms and types, and then you have additional intent words. And we get every possible reasonable permutation without duplicates here, thousands and thousands of these. So that's step 1, is to create a massive keyword list. Step 2 is to do validation, and for this I use the RF's Keyword Explorer tool, because it allows you to dump in 10,000 keywords at a time. When you do this, it will then score them and tell you, here's how much volume each keyword gets. Now, there are the generic topics, and I find it interesting, by the way, that you have marijuana, you have cannabis, but CBD oil itself is the top term, which, cool. But we start going down. There are a couple of irrelevant ones. This one here, for example, Christian book distributors. We know that's probably one we don't want to include in our thing. So let's exclude, for the purposes of this keyword search, let's exclude that stuff and stay on topic. Now, cannabis videos, CBD oil reviews, CBD reviews, CBD oil review, cannabis events. So we're starting to see cannabis blogs, cannabis conference, okay? So now we've got a good sense right off the bat of the type of content that Patricia should be creating. The videos about reviews would be a logical thing to do, or videos about or at cannabis industry events would be a logical thing to do. Scroll down a bit more here. We also see things like forums. Now, granted, these are much smaller searches than the tens of thousands. 13,000 monthly searches for cannabis videos. That is a market opportunity right there. It is something that people are searching for, something that they are interested in. Let's go ahead and click through on that to get a sense of what are some of the terms. Growing interesting, some comedy videos, educational videos. So there is some very, very, very good information here about things that you could do. Now, there are some also notes in here. For example, why is YouTube cracking down on cannabis videos? That in itself is just a useful piece of information to know that you might need more than one video hosting platform, depending on the content of your videos and whether the algorithm thinks that they are objectionable content. Note that of all of the other types of content we put in, like blogs and websites and podcasts, those are not coming up in search nearly as much as that big list cannabis video. So this is a video, at least for what the audience is searching for, this is very much a video first ecosystem. So the short answer to Patricia's specific question is, what types of content should she be producing? The answer is video. But for all of us, this is the methodology to use to understand a space, to be able to gather information about it. And then the next step would be using predictive analytics software, using machine learning software to take these trends and forecast them forward, to look ahead at when should you be making these different types of content. If we look here, we see cannabis videos and events going down here. Let's actually switch this over to scaled views. We know that CBD oil, the best CBD oil as a review term, is going to be the growth term, followed by CBD reviews and CBD oil reviews. So those are clearly the things that we should be focusing on. But let's let's just focus in on this one, cannabis videos. Apply a filter. Videos and events. Let's see when in the next year should we be paying attention to things. Interesting, it's April of next year. We've also got some spikes coming up in August, in September, in December. So in terms of times when you'd want to create extra content, a lot of content, you'd want to focus on those times when audience interest is going to be highest going forward. So this is how you apply this 3-step process that we're talking about here, that is intent-based permutation, validation, and then predictive analytics, to identify any space, any industry. As long as people search for it, as long as people are looking for it, you can find out what is likely to happen and where you should be focusing your efforts, your time, your energy, and your budget. Shameless plug, if you would like help doing this for your industry, let Trust Insights know. It's my company. Go to trustinsights.ai and we'll be happy to help you build these forecasts for your own company. But this methodology works really, really well for things that have search volume where you want to specifically understand a content strategy. What types of content should you be producing and when should you be producing them? So great question, Patricia. Fun question to dig into and be able to look at all of the different analytics for this. As always, if you have comments, please leave them in the comments box. Otherwise, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter, and I'll talk to you soon. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.